Now, I know that, see, Damien is absolutely irreplaceable. No one can be Damien Christie. Having said that, next week he is away, and we've got none other than the wonderful Hayley Holt, who will be co-hosting with me. So do come on down and support Hayley. It'll be a fun show. I took to the streets of Wellington this afternoon, and I asked this question. Do you reckon that society is run by straight white males?
Yes.
I would say that historically, yes.
I do believe to an extent they do.
General, yes. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
More than likely, yeah.
Probably. The main power sharers, the power holders are white males.
I think it's changing, but I think it's changing too slowly.
Do you reckon that we should see more women on prime time in the media?
Yeah, I would. If they want to be, of course.
But this should be based on their performance as journalists.
If they're in the right position to have the role, then fine.
Like if they're smart people and they're asking the issues and they're being nice and polite and not horrible, then I don't mind who it is.
It'd be awesome to see more women in primetime TV.
Do you think it's equal here?
Yeah, I think it's quite equal. Yeah.
Gender equality quotas are not respectable because they're not going to get the job done properly. But what is respectable is having proud women on the workforce that are trained, educated, and have, the right motivation and the want to be actively good journalists.
All right, there you go. And of course, this came up because of a journalist broadcaster, Rachel Smalley, saying that primetime TV is dominated by radio, 6 white men. What do you think,
Well,
Judith Collins?
She's absolutely right. All she's done is count properly. And you can see from the...
Oh, what?
I know, she's dead right. And the other thing is the nonsense, the attacks that she then took from people saying, oh, but all the women are producers. Well, that's just typical, isn't it? Women do all the work and the men go out in front of it. Thanks very much, guys. Yeah, of course she's right. Just count it. Yeah.
But, well, Chris, what do you think of what Judith has said? And what do you think is I mean, you're a former media person. Is primetime media dominated by straight white men?
Again, if you look at the counting exercise, I think Rachel had a point. But I think if you look at the people who occupy those jobs, they're probably the best people for the jobs. And if we want to see more diversity, I think Rachel might need to speak to some of her bosses.
So the women wouldn't do a good job in those primetime broadcasting roles?
There are plenty of women working in primetime who are doing a bloody good job. Heather's there. We've got Mary Wilson, who's been doing a great job on R&D. So there are women there. To say that there are none.
They've moved to, though, haven't they?
They have. But there are other women there, and would you like to see more? Yes. But I think the people that Rachel had a crack at are very good at their jobs, and I think she may have made the point, but done it in a very ham-fisted way.
All right, straight white men, of which you're one. Well, I think you're one, David. But what are you? What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, look, I actually think it cuts both ways. So let me just do a small experiment and ask the audience: how many people had the majority of primary school teachers their own gender? Put your hand up if you did. The majority of your primary school teachers were your own gender.
Half. I'm old enough when it was half and
Yeah.
half.
Not many.
So, I mean, the fact is that in some sectors you've got males dominating and others you've got women
What do you got to say about that? What do you got to say about that?
I think it's actually crap. Actually, I think it's crap. What we have is the women producers and the guy presenters, and it's all part of that sort of idea that people only listen to an authoritative voice, which happens to be a white male voice.
But the producers are the people that form the stories
yeah,
and the
isn't that
ideas.
so much? That's just like they're the ones who make the cake that then someone else presents. It's exactly it.
Not
But
necessarily.
but why is it that so many of the producers are women then rather than men? Why isn't it equal? And the fact is that there is in fact sexism in this, and Rachel Smalley is right. She has stated it, and the fact that she got such a virulent attack back, that showed me that she had hit a nerve. So if people didn't think she was speaking correctly, or
right.
she was wrong, they would have just
Let's
ignored her.
go to Green MP Kennedy Graham. What did you make of it, and what did you make of the issue?
Well, I suppose it was accurate as far as it went, but it was focused on a particular microcosm, and that's fine. I think it is illustrative of a broader problem in society.
Okay.
I think in politics, the gender balance in New Zealand is not too bad. Certainly in our party, 50% in our caucus. But I think there's more of a problem in the corporate world, and I think you need aspirational...
The men run things.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Damien.
All right, I'm with Sue Kedgley, former Green MP and now a Greater Wellington Regional Councillor.
Hi there.
How are you? Welcome back on the show. I haven't seen you for a while.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, tell me, and I'm also with Savannah Carlton. Now, you are Upper Hutt's latest, greatest export. You just won the World Championship of Comedy, basically, is that right?
Yes.
And we thought we'd talk to you because obviously you're also in a male-dominated area. So I'm just going to go to Sue first over here. This is all very confusing for me. Sue, does Rachel have a point? Do you agree with Judith Collins?
Completely agree with Judith that the facts speak for themselves. Actually, the worst probably channel for or broadcaster is her broadcaster, ZB, because from 6 a.m. in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, it is wall-to-wall men. Not one single woman between 6 a.m. in the morning and 8 at night, day after day.
I mean, ZB does make the National Cabinet look diverse.
It does. And Rachel Smalley is on from 5 until 6 a.m. in the morning. Why is a talented broadcaster like Rachel Smalley, why is she on at 5 a.m.? Why can't they find her an hour during the day? I mean, to me, it is just bizarre that we would be putting up with wall-to-wall men. Radio Live isn't too much better.
Okay, Savannah, when you heard this news about Rachel Smalley, what did you think? Did it resonate with you?
Yeah, I kind of think she's right in the fact that it's unfortunate that it's so dominated by white straight males if New Zealand's not, full of white straight males. But also I think that young people aren't really solely relying on these radio talk shows anymore. I think...
Really? You're not all tuned into News Talk ZB?
No.
Getting all your information, the young people? No?
Not usually. I think we can our generation starting to source our own, and we can find whoever we want to listen to and listen to them. So.
Do you still find that when you look out there, though, even on the world scale, your world is still dominated by white men? Shh, don't tell anyone that Wallace and I are white straight men, by the way.
Hard to answer.
I mean, do you see strong female role models out there that you can look to and go, yeah?
Yeah, starting to. Yeah, more coming in. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what about you? Do you think? I mean, what can be done to change the situation? You were part of the. Well, no, you weren't part of the government ever, were you? Really, but you sort of been on the sidelines. You were in a position of power for so many years. What could be done to change things? Do we need to change the law?
I don't think you can change it through the law or through quotas. But I think that if people just migrate away from these channels or broadcasters, which are so, white male dominated. I mean, I'm not going to listen to ZB, to wall men. I want a bit of diversity. I would like, and what about not just women, but what about a few more Maori, Chinese?
Whoa! That's just crazy talk. Look.
But why not?
Thank you very much, Sue and Savannah, both of your time. Thank you. Round of applause, please.
Fantastic. Thank you. I want to come back to you, Judith Collins. What about in Parliament? Do you feel, is it more difficult for women in Parliament? Do you feel bullied by your male counterparts at any stage? Or seriously?
Really?
No, I'm asking.
They might try once. But there's certain... people expect you to act in a certain way if you're a female, going, "Oh, you clever male, you." But some of us don't do that,
well,
you never do.
Should the next leader or the next leader be a woman of New Zealand?
Well, the next leader should be the best person who's for the job. But you notice this? Meritocracy only comes up as an issue when you're talking about not having always white males in the job.
That's
you
interesting.
Notice that?
No, that's interesting. That's a good point. Well, what a gender quota around the panel before we move on to drinking at 5 a.m.
I'm worried now. Labour Party's agreeing with me. Oh no, I've done something wrong.
Kennedy Graham, a gender quota. Should we have a gender quota?
I don't think it should be an enforced quota, but there should be aspirational targets and accountability back.
What about you? How many MPs are female? And actually, no, there's only one in that.
How many comedians are there presenting this show?
Wow.
Well, there's me, and there's you.
A gender quota. What do you think?
No, look, Wallace and Gromit. Look, my mum did pharmacy in the late 70s when they actually had a quota to bring more men in. And it led to a stigma around male pharmacists in that generation. So I think quotas are too heavy-handed and they have perverse outcomes. I'm opposed to quotas. I'm in favour of choice. And I think over time, people are going to choose more gender equality.
All right, opposed to quota in favour of choice.
I told you, I do the cheap shots.
And
No, it's good. It's good. We got this.
Chris Farfoy, a gender quota.
Oh, there's been an array of views in our party over the years.
Well, tell-
but for me,
A
no.
rainbow, you might say.
A range. But for me personally, no. I think it should be based on merit. And I think in terms of our party, we can do things to make sure we get more women and more ethnic people in there because they're good enough.
Nice one.
I think the Labor Party should go back to their man ban. It worked so well last time. They
thanks.
should do it again.
Thank you, Judith.
But I'm not big on quotas, but I am big on aspiration. And I think that actually just having an open mind about people rather than deciding that they are one or the other or whatever, putting them in a slot is a much better way of going. But
Fantastic.
let's be aspirational.
Look, I'd love to hear your views on this and just chuck it up on Twitter at Backbenchers TV. It's a big topic and we're back very soon.